Oh, hello, my friends. It is time for yet another Memm update, but this time we have actual hard user data, and I guarantee it is going to surprise you, so stay tuned. What's going on, guys? For those of you who are new here, my name is Kevin Jabal, physician entrepreneur based in Las Vegas, but currently out here in very rainy Austin, Texas. Now, Memm is a separate company from Med School Insiders, and we launched it in August of 2020. It's an MCAT study tool incorporating flashcards with review sheets. I'm gonna cover three things in this video. Number one, revenue, how much money we're making month by month for the company. Number two, growth. And then finally, the user data from the thousands of users who have actually used the product, taken the MCAT, and then provided us with their results. All right, revenue. Now, in terms of revenue, we peaked in that first month because there was a lot of pent-up demand from promoting it for months leading up to August. But September was our floor, our lowest revenue month, which was $16,000 in monthly revenue. Now, we've been steadily rising since then, and 6 months later, in March of 2021, we tripled that revenue to $45,000 per month. So things are growing quickly. Now, in total, from launch until me recording this video in the end of May, we've made a total of $350,000 in revenue. So what are we doing with all that revenue? Obviously, strippers and blow. I mean, I live in Las Vegas after all. But beyond that, we're reinvesting really heavily back into the business. So we've spent several $1,000s on various courses, whether that's SEO courses or SEO courses on growth and paid marketing. We're trying to really improve our own skills and reinvest in the business to really accelerate that long-term growth of the company. We've also spent thousands of dollars on paid ads. Now, those paid ads include Facebook ads, Instagram ads, YouTube ads, and of course, Google search ads. Now, people usually think of Google search ads when it comes to online advertising because it's been around the longest, but we actually found it's not a good fit for our business, which is really surprising because we do use Google search ads for Med School Insiders. Now, the reason Google search ads do not work for Memm is twofold. Number one is Google search is very intent-based, right? So you go to Google and you search for whatever solution you're looking for to whatever problems you're having. The issue with that is that Memm is very innovative. It's a new study tool. It's a new approach to studying for the MCAT. So people aren't really searching for something like Memm. They're usually searching for practice questions or practice tests, or even more commonly, actual prep courses. And that leads us to the second problem, which is that most of these other companies that are bidding for the similar keywords, because the more competitive a keyword is, the higher the price goes, they're selling these prep courses, which go for like $2,000 on average. So if your customers are spending $2,000 on your product, you have a lot more wiggle room in terms of driving up the cost per click or how much you want to spend on your ads. Now, Memm is way more affordable, an order of magnitude more affordable. The average Memm user spends anywhere from $100 to $300 in their MCAT prep. And because of that, we can't compete and pay the same amount for advertising compared to these larger companies. So those are the two problems why we're not really focusing on Google search ads moving forward. We have had a lot better results with Facebook and Instagram because you're not searching on those platforms like you are on Google. You're just kind of passively consuming and scrolling on your phone. And then if you're an MCAT student, or rather a pre-med student studying for the MCAT, then you will come across a Memm ad. And if we can get you interested and show you that, hey, this is going to improve your score in a really short period of time, you click it, you sign up for a free trial, and maybe you buy. That's a much more feasible approach for us. We've done some paid YouTube ads, both in terms of the actual, like the video you see before the actual YouTube video, but also paid sponsorships with some content creators that maybe you also follow. All right, let's talk about growth. The main focus on the company has been growth recently. The first few months after launch was really about refining and improving the product, but now we've really dialed it in. Customers are really happy. So now it's all about growth. How do we get this in front of more eyeballs? So the idea is that to grow effectively, we want to spend as much money as possible on growth initiatives. The theory being, if we experiment and throw a lot of money at the problem and try different things, something's going to click and really accelerate that growth process, and it will ultimately be a very much positive return on investment. So one thing we're doing, for example, is looking at ad agencies. So Richard and I have been handling all of the paid ads on these various platforms by ourselves since essentially January of this year. But now that we've found a winning formula, we found certain ad types that tend to be profitable and tend to work, we're now going to outsource that to an ad agency that can really run with it and then further experiment and derive, iterate from that formula. Our referral program has also gained some momentum. We've had a total of 40 referrals in the last few months, which is good, but we want to see if we can drive that up more. The way the referral program works right now is the person referring actually gets an extension on their subscription for having someone else sign up using their link. And then that person who signs up using their link will get a discount on their subscription, and they will also get a free extension on their subscription. So there's definitely a good incentive to using referral links. but we want to see if maybe there's an issue with like visibility or people not being aware of it, so we can drive more and more referrals. We also want to see if there's any room for collaboration with various pre-med groups and organizations at college campuses. So if you are a pre-med at one of these pre-med organizations on a college campus, then shoot me a DM on Instagram and we can chat about it. All right, on to the user data, the part we've all been waiting for. Let me first start off by saying that we have known that Memm is really effective. We've had so many messages from people on the Discord server or emails or Instagram DMs, very positive messages saying how it's like transformed their relationship with studying and flashcards and their scores improving, and it's been great to hear, right? So we knew it worked, but we didn't know how much it worked. We didn't have actual hard data. So what we did is we've sent out a survey to everyone who has taken the MCAT, and we said, hey, what are your results? And the results surprised us. The average Memm user scored a 514.3 on the MCAT. And we had several users who were scoring in the 520s as well. But the average is a 514.3. A 514 is a 91st percentile score on the MCAT. So that to us, we were like, hold up, we know Memm is effective, but this is beyond what we thought was reasonable. This is pretty insane. A 514.3. And this is like legit clean data. And there are some other companies that will report their average MCAT score being high, but it's only for users that completed all 10 steps or whatever the process is. And one of those steps I've heard from a student who went through their program is you need to take a practice test and score above a certain threshold. So they're essentially cutting out low scoring people. The other important thing to note is the average user improved their score by an average of close to 12 points. 514.3 average test day score on the MCAT, and then average improvement close to 12 points.
Well, to clarify the 12-point improvement, it's actually 12 points from before using Memm to after using Memm. So a lot of students had been studying for the MCAT prior to using Memm. They got up to a 502 on their last diagnostic, and then they started using Memm and then improved 12 points. So I just want to clarify that because I don't want you to think that people are starting off studying for the MCAT at an average of a 502, which is definitely not the case. And you can actually hear some specific user stories on our blog where there are a couple stories, someone studying for 3 to 6 months beforehand, they start capping out around low 500s, and then after using Memm, they bump up a significant amount. So I just want to clarify the 12-point improvement. It's from before using Memm to actual test day, not from the beginning of your MCAT studying to test day.
And we will be continuing to send out the survey and gather more and more data from our users. So in the future, we'll be updating these figures to tell you if the average is moving up, moving down, the average score improvement, same with that. But it's been really exciting. Growing a new company is so much fun. If you enjoyed this video, I talk a lot more about Memm on this playlist. Much love, and I'll see you guys there.